This is the Under the Ring Report. Now, here are the masters of armchair booking, John the Flesh Wound and Cousin Tom.
Welcome, everyone, to the second annual Under the Ring Report, What We're Thankful For show. Two of them, Tom. This is the second one. Can you believe they actually let us do this?
Well, I think they let us do this because they don't know we're doing it.
All right. So kind of give everybody a quick rundown of what we're doing. Each year we get together, and you know what? There's things that have happened in the last year. Some of it bad, some of it good. And this is just our chance to kind of shoot the shit about what we are thankful for that happened in professional wrestling due to Thanksgiving being right around this time of the year. And most of you guys are getting together and hanging out with family and friends, probably watching football. But, you know, we should change that. You know, we should have like Thanksgiving wrestling once again because, you know, we used to have the Survivor Series on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
But not anymore. But that's for another show. But anyway, today, what we are thankful for that has happened in professional wrestling. Tom, I will let you kick off the show.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm thankful for that happened this year. And we were there. It's not the All-In show. All-In show was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was StarCast. That was my first wrestling convention
Same
that
here.
I've ever been to. And that was by far the most fun I've had in a weekend of my adult life in quite some time. I got to meet people that I grew up watching. We met Arn and Tully and J.J. Dillon and NWO.
Mm-hmm.
Got put in a Cobra Clutch by Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, we got to see Katie Vick's coffin and the gobbledygooker. I wore Ric Flair's robe. We saw all the belts, a pair of Dusty's boots.
Tons of fans.
Fans from all over the place. We talked to all kinds of people from overseas that were there, people from, all the different states.
Well, and also seeing wrestlers in different situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talked
You're
about
used to seeing
before.
them on program television.
You'd
And
just
here
be
we are
walking by and there'd be a
in
guy.
like
Hey, there's so-and-so. Yeah. The first day I got there having lunch at ODB's food truck.
Right.
You know, so she's there and there's all these wrestlers keep coming out talking to her. And you're just like, okay, this is just a different vibe, you know, than being on just a wrestling show. And it was a kind of a nice kind of family thing where everybody just kind of was hanging out. Everybody was cool.
Yeah, I got the feeling that, for number one, all the fans that were there were hardcore fans. These were people that followed everybody, knew what was going on,
Still
knew
real
who people
to me,
were.
damn it.
And, that's right. But I didn't see anybody that was like disrespectful. I didn't see anybody when the wrestlers were walking through the convention center. Nobody like mobbed them. Everybody, you know, people said hi and spoke, but you know, they were free to come and go as they please, which I thought was awesome because there's nothing worse than going somewhere like you'll see like a scene in an airport and they're getting mobbed. Someone's getting mobbed off a plane because these guys are wanting to sell their autograph on eBay for a couple $100.
Yeah.
Or, you know, and that's just irritating just to anybody. And this wasn't like this. And to get to meet everybody and, you know, we squeezed in Rey Mysterio meet and greet, which was awesome. The Young Bucks, Pentagon, you know, I couldn't have been happier with the way it turned out. I wish that I would have got there a day earlier to see a little bit more than what we did see.
Could have met Cody.
Yeah, I would have liked to have met Omega, but there was only so many hours in the day to wait in line.
True that. All right, so if I have to think, another thing for me that I'm thankful for is my wife actually enjoyed a wrestling event this year. She never gives a shit to go to any of them and was a willing participant to join me and go to ACW WrestleCon and had a blast. She was hanging out, chatting with the people, got to see Big Papa Pump and Jared and all these guys wrestle and just had a really good time. And I thought that was cool because I've thought about hitting some of the independent shows. I mean, I go once in a while and see Raw in Green Bay or SmackDown, but I've never got off my ass to go see independent wrestling. And you know what? I missed out the year before. They had Bret Hart there, who was like one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I've been lucky enough to interview him, but I would have loved to have a chance to actually met him in person. And I didn't know about it till it was too late. So you know what? This last year, I was like, found out about it. Said, all right, we're going. And it was fun. I mean, we're planning on going again this year and waiting to see who they're actually going to announce. It looks like, don't know for sure, but it looks like they've got some big names coming. Might be worth you driving up and meeting us. Who knows? But I will wait. And I'll tell you what, if it's half as fun as it was last year, it's going to be worth the admission price. So I give major props to ACW and what they do out there. It is a lot of fun. If you're a fan, I know coming up at the end of November, they have their 5th year anniversary show that's going to be in Oshkosh, and including Tommy Dreamer will be there, and Eugene from WWE. They will be there.
Oh, yeah.
And they do their 5th year anniversary show the night before they do House of Hardcore near Milwaukee. So always a good time.
Okay,
Little plug for the.
Actually.
I like to plug the local stuff when they're around there. I mean, they do a good job.
I'll tell you another thing I am thankful for, and it's going to sound funny at first, but social media.
Okay.
And what I'm getting at is, back in the day, we would watch Raw, tape Nitro, or tape Nitro, watch Raw, or just flip back and forth. Now, with social media, especially if you follow all the right ones, I know what's going on. Like with Instagram, you follow the wrestlers, you know when they're hitting these independent shows, you know where they're at. They're all cross-promoting everything. They're like, hey, by the way, on my Instagram story, like Brian Cage, going to be on the Jericho Cruise.
Yeah.
Going to be on the Impact taping. He's going to be at Bar Wrestling. Going to be at this. He's going to be at that. And it's the greatest thing ever for a guy who's just like, okay, I want to watch some wrestling, but I don't really want to watch Brock Lesnar on WWE. And you pull your phone out. There's all these screen caps of different matches. People's always running GIFs. The whole New Japan stuff. I was keeping up with it Saturday morning on my way to work. I didn't get to watch it, but I knew what happened, and I got to see most of it just by following Twitter.
And I was crazy and woke up at 4 a.m. So there you go.
Hey, you know what? If you like something and you enjoy it, why not? But yeah, so social media for me they can be a downfall for people, but for something that I like, I enjoy it because I'm not dropping a bunch of money on something that may get interrupted while I'm watching, and I can just keep track of things, and I just enjoy it.
Alrighty. Well, another thing I'm thankful for is, the product that New Japan is putting out. And the reason I'm thankful for that is I enjoy wrestling. I've always liked wrestling. I was a big WCW fan, more so than WWE. Even during the Attitude Era, when everybody thought that was cool, I was more drawn to WCW because, those were the stars I grew up with as kids. And that's why I liked it. So when they went under, I've always had a tough time following WWE. I'll watch in stretches here and there, but for the most part, it's hard for me to connect and go, yeah, I like this guy. I was big in the CM Punk time and yeah, shocking, whatever, but just kind of a different person. A lot of the cookie cutter stuff that's out there, it's tough for me. So after WWE and the big debacle that was the Greatest Royal Rumble, thank you very much, WWE, because with that, I pretty much canceled the network and I've been done with it since. I don't watch Raw very much. I check it out, like you said, on Twitter. It's worth doing that. But New Japan World, if you're a fan of real professional wrestling, spend the $9. You would be amazed at the amount of stuff there. And you know what? You don't have to be like me and be a goofball and wake up at 4 a.m. You can watch it at your leisure when you want to watch it. Kevin Kelly, Don Callis, thank goodness he's re-signed again. They make wrestling fun. And you know what? I'm going to also put this out here. If you're watching New Japan Wrestling on Access TV, give it a shot. We're on the app first because
it's completely different.
JR is a great commentator, but you know what? JR doesn't know much about the New Japan product. And when you listen to two guys who are following and know everything about these wrestlers, it changes the perspective you have of that show. And I want more people to know about this because truthfully, I've been running with the network for quite a while, and it's just nice sometimes to go back and see some of the stars that are there that wrestled over time that I didn't even know, because I remember the partnership that WCW and New Japan had back in the day, but there was no way for me to watch it unless I had friends who were going to do some tape trading. So
yeah, that was the only way back then.
Yeah. So now what's cool is when I'm wanting to, if I want to watch Ring of Honor, boom, there's my $9. I'm watching Ring of Honor. If I want to watch Impact, well, I can flip on the Fight app and watch their pay-per-view if I feel like it. But New Japan now has my money. I usually don't kill that subscription. It's usually every month, and it's worth watching. They've always got a great match here or there, and I can always go back and catch stuff when I don't have a chance. So for me, I'm very thankful for New Japan World, making it easily accessible to a guy here to watch New Japan Wrestling, especially with Jericho and guys like that being involved.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm all aboard the New Japan bandwagon. My next thing I'm thankful for is women's wrestling. And that's going to sound a little strange. And I'm not talking about brawn panties and pudding matches and all that crap.
Oh, not your wife, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. None of that stuff from years ago. No, I'm talking about Tessa Blanchard, Chelsea Green, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Asuka. The ladies that are wrestling now, I've enjoyed watching them wrestle just as much, if not more, than some of the men sometimes. Asuka and Charlotte had a match at WrestleMania that was one of the better matches on the card for the whole show.
Rip Asuka's career.
Yeah, pretty much buried her. But you know, that being said, you go back years ago and they were an afterthought. It was just bring them out for the bikini contest or whatever they were doing, and then shove them to the back, and then on with the rest of the show. At All In, we had the women's four-way, and granted, the finish was a little whatever, but I thought the match was great. Chelsea Green was, I thought, phenomenal in that match, and I know she got signed to NXT.
Yep.
And like right now, with everything with WWE that I don't like, the one thing they're doing right is Becky Lynch as a title holder. And you notice I didn't mention anything about Ronda Rousey. I don't even care about Ronda Rousey. Becky Lynch to me is somebody that is believable, and the fans are behind her. And even though they're trying to make her a heel, the fans are behind her, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying what she's doing.
Well, and
it's nice to see.
The thing with Ronda Rousey, she's there to get eyeballs on that network. That's what it is. Yeah. And you know what? And I have to give her credit, because you know what? She is actually showing signs of being a really good wrestler. But I think you're onto something there, is that right now you're more involved in the folks that you've invested in since they've been brought up from NXT. Yeah. You know, you want to enjoy more. You know, finally Becky Lynch is getting a chance to shine, because unfortunately being on the same roster as Charlotte and Asuka makes it pretty tough for you to get out there, because there's only so many spots for women, and they for a while were pretty much taking up those spots, and you had Carmella out there shining, so it was tough for Becky to get a shot.
I tell you what, I was at a house show this summer, and she was supposed to be there, Carmella, and my son was teasing me, and some friends of ours were there, and they're like, "You're just here to see Carmella." I'm like, "Well, yeah, because she's entertaining and fun to watch." And at the time, she had the belt, SmackDown title. Yeah, she had the belt and stuff. And that was the show at the last second. They pulled all the women because they were going to announce their first ever pay-per-view. Yeah. So Almost was there. So we got Almost with no Zelina Vega and no. And it was weird. It was odd. It was a noticeable thing that there were no women on the show, where years past that wouldn't have been a thought. Yeah. But everyone's like, well, where's Carmella? She was billed. And then you get home and find out on Raw, they're all there making that announcement. So it's funny how far they've come.
So if I think of other things that I'm very thankful of, kind of want to make a quick rundown of people I've seen in action. So, I mean, I'm very thankful that I've gotten to see Jordan Grace wrestle live. Very impressive. And you know what? She's now signed with Impact. So that's even better. And I think more people, once they get a chance to get some eyes on her, they'll be really impressed with what she's doing. I've had a chance, if you would have told me this last year, I said you're crazy, but I've seen Joey Ryan wrestle twice this year. Who would have thought? So yeah,
yes, we did.
Joey Ryan twice this year, amazing. Having a chance to see Okada live, Kenny Omega, and I mean, last week I know you talked about all that. Chris Jericho. I mean, to see Chris Jericho at this stage, and I remember seeing Chris Jericho probably in 1997 in a WCW Saturday night taping in Madison, Wisconsin.
That's been a while.
That's been a while, and I did see him later on when he was with WWE, but thankful to see these guys, because some of these folks, they're going to go on and sign. WWE might sign them, you know, or they may be in New Japan, and we may never have a chance to see them wrestle here in the States. You never know. So I cherish the ability to see some of those up-and-coming wrestlers, and that's the cool part about it, because there's guys I've been following. And I mean, I know you're a big Villain fan. You were really excited to see him wrestle live.
Oh, I was. Yeah. That was a big treat, because I've been following him. I mean, shoot, you gave me your password so I could watch Wrestle Kingdom just so I could see the Villain wrestle.
Yeah. And so that's really cool on your part right there. And so this was a big year for wrestling, I think, to me, because, you know, I've always been a fan, but something about this year, I was like, you know what? I'm going to change what I'm doing. I'm going to shows, because before, every once in a while I'd make a trip, but it wasn't, I made a point this year to go, okay, if something cool is happening nearby, I need to go to it, because I don't want to have that regret and say, damn, I wish we would have went to All In, or damn, I wish I would have saw so-and-so wrestle over here. So instead...
Yeah, I tell you.
Yeah.
Along those same lines with what you're saying with those matches. And you know, I was there for most of those that we saw, because a lot of them were at All In.
Yeah.
You know, and then my son and I, we hit up some house shows, which we usually do if they're in the area, and got to see AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, which was great. New Day was always entertaining and different ones like that. But I still enjoyed, one of my highlights was the 6-man tag, the End All In.
Okay.
Bandito.
Bandito's going to be a star.
Someone I'd never heard of before. And he did some crazy stuff that blew me away. And, that match, it was short-lived. Joey Janela. I never thought I'd say this. I enjoyed Joey Janela. And I had no idea who Joey Janela was up until like 4 months ago.
I knew who Joey Janela was, but I only knew him for that crazy freaking stunt off the top of that building into the truck.
Yeah.
That's the only way I knew who Joey Janela was. But yeah, I mean, when he was at the press conference and all that, it was cool to see him. And you know what? That's the best part to me is whoever's hot on the indie scene, I'm thankful we had a chance to see most of those stars because you hear people talk about them and you can watch them on Twitch because there's a lot of different organizations now doing that. You can watch them on Fight and all that, but there's something about being there live and seeing these people. And the other thing is that makes me want to go to other shows even more because like the guy that down there, well, the one kid, what's the kid's name? The down there by your area who won?
Marco Stunt.
Yeah, I mean, Marco Stunt impressed the hell out of me, and I hadn't even heard of the kid until you were talking to me about him.
Well, I'll tell you, there's something to be said about being older and having the money to go to shows.
Well, yes,
you know what I mean?
That helps a lot too, and makes it pretty easy to be able to do whatever you need to. Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you, one person I'm thankful for, Don Callis, and him. I won't give him 100% credit for what they're doing with Impact, but he's got a large portion of it. And what they've done with that show in the matter of, a year since they pretty well let the entire roster go?
It's probably about 8 months. 8 months, probably.
Yeah, so less than a year. And it's every up-and-coming person. A lot of them, people knew them from Lucha Underground. And now they're on Impact. They got Tessa Blanchard as their women's champ. Sammy Callahan is awesome.
Phoenix and Pentagon.
Yeah, Phoenix and Pentagon. They got Brian Cage on there now.
Johnny Impact,
and his wife.
Yep.
They've got some serious talent on that show. And it looks like nowhere but up for them to go. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, thinking more here are some things I would thankful for. I don't know if it's really wrestling related, but you know what? I have to be thankful for all of Tom's fans in Sweden. They love you, Tom. They love you. But no, being serious. So you know what? I am very thankful to folks out there for listening to the show. Thank you very much. It's nice to know that folks like just hear a couple wrestling fans shoot the shit about whatever comes up in our minds. And that makes... Yeah, I mean, that makes me happy to know that there's people out there who enjoy what we're doing, and we're doing it because we enjoy it, and that's the other cool part about it. So thank you.
Yeah, if I knew how to speak Swedish, I'd say thank you in Sweden, but I can't.
No, you can't say Swedish fish.
That doesn't count?
No, it doesn't count, man. Sorry.
What about Ricola? Does that count?
I don't know what that means. So yeah, I guess if you think that counts, we'll count it, man. That's fine. All right. Well, we'll end our thankful show with another hot tag.
By God, it's a hot tag!
All right, if you want, I'll start off, okay?
All right.
So we're doing our thankful version of the hot tag. So how about that puts a little bit of a twist in there for you? Let's start off with Ric Flair.
Tell you what, thankful he's alive.
Yeah.
I mean, he just about didn't make it this year, but he is. Now he's married, and I tell you what, I think he's going to enjoy the next several years now that he's kind of toned it down a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully he has. Hopefully he's learned his lesson and he'll be around for quite a while.
Yeah, and I will also say I am so thankful for the Ric Flair shop.
Have you spent a lot of money? Huh? Yeah, you buy yourself something new?
I ordered me a new Christmas sweatshirt. Merry Flary Christmas.
Oh my God.
Styling and profiling this happy holiday season.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
It's whatever Flair can sell, I guess. Whatever helps him pay his alimony.
I'm glad to help support, so
I guess. There you go. Alrighty. All right, man, it's your turn.
All right, that's my turn. Okay. I would have to say, what are your thoughts on the next big New Japan pay-per-view that'll be coming up?
Well, for Wrestle Kingdom is what I'm looking forward to. I mean, that's coming up in January. I mean, they've already had the announcements and stuff, and it makes me very thankful for the ability to watch that stuff. I think the best match, and this is my own personal opinion, I think it's going to be Okada and Jay White. I think that's going to end up being the best match of the damn show, personally.
Yeah, I don't doubt that a bit.
I mean, there's nothing about the Kenny Omega and Tanahashi match that's got me excited. I hate to say it. I am looking forward to Jericho and Naito, but I don't know, man. Kenny's title reign has been kind of blah, and I think it's just because of all the events that have been going on. He hasn't had a chance to really defend the title.
Right.
And so that's why it's been kind of... The other problem is you're following a title reign by Okada. So that makes it tougher, too, to kind of follow that. And it's nothing to do with how Kenny's wrestling or anything. It's just you've just had all this stuff going on, and it's made it tough. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's... If I have to say right now, I mean, I would be thankful that I think that the Okada and Jay Switchblade is going to be the match of the night, personally. We'll see if I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're not.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Once again, the second annual Under the Ring Report, What We're Thankful For show, and we appreciate you guys. Make sure to download the latest episodes of the podcast, visit our website, undertheringreport.com, and follow us at UTRR Podcast. Thank you once again, and join us next time for the Under the Ring Report.
Hello, this is B. Brian Blair, formerly the Killer Bee in the World Wrestling Federation, and you're listening to the Under the Ring Report.
Follow the Under the Ring Report on Twitter at UTRR Podcast. You can subscribe to the Under the Ring Report on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher, or visit undertheringreport.com. Thanks for listening to the Under the Ring Report.